Hello and welcome to the Smiths Hire preview show. I'm Jed Mills and here's what's coming up on today's episode. We'll reflect on the midweek draw with West Brom and look ahead to Saturday's game at Birmingham City. Shane Lavery reflects on his comeback from injury and being back in the team. Neil Critchley shares his thoughts on Saturday's visit to St Andrews. Plus, the Community Trust CEO Ash Hackett discusses picking up the Community Club of the Year award at this week's North West Football Awards. Well, I'm pleased to say joining me in the studio today for his preview show debut is Blackpool defender Rhys James. Well, Rhys, thanks very much for joining us. How's life at the club for you?
Yeah, it's been good so far. I think first couple of months was a bit of a slow, stoppy start sort of time for me, having the injury, but playing with the injury as well at the same time. It was a little bit stop-start for me, and obviously with the international breaks, quite a few so early on, it was a little bit difficult, and also having to cover in different places on the pitch positionally for me was enjoyable, but then at the same time it's kind of wanting to play in your own position, which is natural for me at left back, which has been now nice to play in and nice to try and sort of cement a place in the team.
And you certainly have. I mean, the team's going right on a good trajectory, isn't it? And against West Brom the other night, this is a top team that are going to be there or thereabouts. I was saying for a 0-0, as it was watching it was a real good game of football. Chances both ends. Both teams could have easily won it. Some brilliant defending from Blackpool as well. How did you feel sort of in the changing rooms when you came back after the game? Yeah,
I think obviously in the changing rooms at the end you're a little bit disappointed because you think, like you said, we could have won the game, but then at the same time you're thinking, you know, it's a good point. And I think the gaffer has already said with his sort of interview that you look at the top three teams in the division, we've actually not been beaten off any of them. We've drawn 2, 1-1, so I think you've got to look at it and think that it's a positive. And I think even as a team, when you do come in, you are a little bit disappointed, but you have to reflect and you've got to look and think, you know what, that was a good point. Obviously it was an entertaining game on both sides, so and they're a very good side. They've got a lot of international players in their team. And we've got to look at it and think, you know what, we've held our own in that game. We
started to see it in the Euros. Remember Italy when they were blocking chances and they were basically celebrating like they'd scored a goal. We're starting to see that a little bit here as well. I think James Husband had done some block and he gets up, and is that a real conscious thing? There is like a sort of a defenders union, and you know a goalless score for Blackpool is celebrated like a goal would be for a striker.
Yeah, I think as a defender you've got to come off the pitch and think, have we done our jobs? Ultimately that is to try and prevent the other team scoring. I think that starts from the strikers all the way back to defenders, but obviously as a defender there's a lot more onus on that for yourselves when with the goalkeeper, and before every game you always say to each other, let's keep a clean sheet, let's make sure we come off the pitch with a clean sheet. And it's such a rewarding feeling to do that, because obviously you keep a clean sheet, you've got every chance of winning the game, or at the very least you're drawing the game. So I think that's something that you always pride yourselves on as a back four or a back five, whatever that may be.
How have you found it in the Championship, especially coming back after the injury as well?
Yeah, it's been brilliant so far. That was the aim last season, that I wanted to play in the Championship. I felt like I deserved a chance at it from a previous season, and obviously Blackpool gave me that opportunity with the gaffer and things like that, so it's something that I've loved to do at the moment. And each game's a test. You know that the games that you play in, every game's a hard game. You can't look in the fixture list and think, oh, there's a chance of getting 3 points there, or yes, we should be winning that game. Every game's a difficult game, and that's what you want to be in as a footballer. You want to test yourself against good players, against good teams, and at the moment we're holding our own.
There's always a lot, isn't there, when they say in the Championship, that's when mistakes are punished. In the Premier League, even more. International, even more. But from League One, being someone that's sort of never played at that level, what is the difference, especially being a fullback, wingers, strikers? Is there a noticeable difference when you're on the pitch from a League One and you think, I've got this guy in my pocket, to Championship where it is a big step up?
Yeah, I think the individual quality is a big difference. You see players that now are in the Championship that have played numerous seasons in the Premier League, or top players that are on loan at Championship teams, or are playing even internationally or under 21s internationally. So I think every team's got quality all over the pitch, and I think as well what is changing again is tactically. I think off the ball you see how hard teams can be to break down, passing lines that you think in League One are on. Championship, it's kind of where you can lift your head up and see a pass. The minute you put your head down to play the pass, it's suddenly smothered and it makes it difficult. But these are things that you've got to learn. You've got to learn them quickly, otherwise you can find out the hard way in the Championship, because like you say, you will be punished from making certain mistakes. I don't even know what I'm saying here. To sign up. Thanks for watching the first part of the snippet. Is that right? No? Head over to Tangerine TV for the rest of the show for $1.99 a month. Thank you.